Hey folks, Brendan here from Bluelight with another video that's going to help support you in the police recruitment process. I've supported and helped over 12,000 people over the past decade to succeed in the police recruitment process. Are you going to be the next one? Anyway, you won't be if you set yourself a trap in your interview. What do I mean by that? Well, I've just done some one-to-one coaching. Here's all the notes with a client who's going for a force. I'm not going to say which one it is. But they're actually a special constable in this force. And in their answers, they laid down some traps which they really didn't need to set for themselves. And all it would do is just invite awkward questions from the interviewer. I'll explain a little bit more about what I mean by actually telling you the traps that they set for themselves. So one of the questions I asked in my one-to-one, the way I do the one-to-ones, by the way, is I'll get you to do the online course, the online interview course. Check the links below for the links to all the different courses I run. And then we'll have 2 one-hour sessions where we actually practice the interview skills that are needed. We then debrief it, extract learning from it, make sure that the technique, what sort of answers you deliver is improved upon so that you can absolutely ace it on the day. I help you become the best version of yourself you can be. And you're not going to do that by setting yourself a trap. So the first one, the question I asked to start off with was, why you and why now? This is the same as the question, tell me a little bit about yourself, or tell me why you want to be a police officer. Why you and why now? And it delivered a really good answer, talking about their time in the Special Constabulary. In a debrief, we looked at how we could have built on this a lot more, put a lot more detail in there, and actually the answer that they eventually had will be absolutely awesome. It's going to kill it. But during their answer, they talked about the negatives of the job the positives of the job outweigh the negatives of the job, not the other way around. The positives of the job outweigh the negatives of the job, which got me thinking, you've only spent a year in the specials. What are the negatives? So that's the trap. It was a comment that invites the question at the end of your answer, which I did ask and said, well, there's negatives to the job. What are those? What are the negatives to the job? And his answer was paperwork and dealing with traumatic incidents. So my next set of questions was about the importance of paperwork and getting things right so that cases when they do go to court don't fail. And traumatic incidents, well, that's the nature of policing. So if you see that these are negatives after just 1 year in the Special Constabulary, well, you're raising alarm bells for me. That's not what I'm going to say, but it's what's going through my head. You see how we need to avoid setting ourselves traps. The next trap they set themselves was when I asked the question about why diversity is important. And they gave an answer about, in the area which this force covers, there isn't a very diverse population. So then they went on to talk about why diversity was important. Another trap that they set themselves. So my next question was about what they understand diversity to mean in terms of more than just visible ethnic representation, which is what he was focusing on. So we've got so much more to diversity than just visible representation. And in this particular force area, he was actually right. In terms of visible ethnic minorities, there's a very small population compared to other parts of England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. However, what this was doing was precluding all the other forms of diversity, which we talked about and went into in great depth. So now what he appreciates is that actually the force area that he wants to apply for is incredibly rich in terms of its diversity. And he could describe the richness of that diversity and why it's important that the service reflects that rich, diverse community that he's going to be a part of. So folks, there you go. 2 examples of traps that you can set yourself. Be cautious of this, because if you say something during your interview answer that's going to invite further questions, 1, it's going to put you off, and 2, it's going to raise question marks. So talking about the negatives of being a police officer, well, you've only experienced Special Constabulary for a year. Talking about something that actually demonstrates to me in terms of diversity that you really don't understand diversity, is another trap that you've just set yourself. Be careful about these, folks, because the last thing you want is for an eyebrow to be raised and for further questions to be pushed in your direction, or they might not even ask those further questions. They might mark you down for having a negative perception of the police service and for not understanding diversity and all its richness. So folks, don't set yourself a trap. Make sure that you answer your questions in a way that's going to demonstrate the best version of yourself. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Like I said, if you want to find out more, then check the links below. And if you're not part of the awesome Bluelight Police Recruitment Facebook group with almost 20,000 members, unbelievable how this group has grown in just less than 5 years. If you want to be part of that group and get the best sort of guidance from not just me, but from all the other members, because there's so many thousands of members who are actually serving police officers. We've got people from HR teams, we've got people who from positive action teams in police forces, we've got people from recruitment teams, and so many serving officers all the way up to the rank of chief inspector, all there to help guide you, support you, and ensure that you achieve your dreams. And then once you're in the police, you can help others to achieve their dreams. What an awesome group it is. Anyway, check the links below. And also you'll be able to access a link to my ebook, How to Join the Police. Be successful in the process, even if you have no idea where to start in your preparation. So much for you in the links. Check them out, and I shall catch up with you soon at the next video. Bye-bye for now.